Hey fam, kคนคร Peanut here. First and foremost, thank you for joining if you're here live. If you're not, why aren't you live? So, assuming I can get decent attendance on these, I will continue doing live streams on Saturdays, or Sundays. This time. So, whether it's Saturday night for you Saturday morning or, man, I cannot talk today. Whether it's Sunday morning for you or it's sometime in Sunday evening, early afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, I'll be doing live streams at this time as long as I can get attendance. And I'm glad to see Ethan made it this time. Great, that's awesome to hear. So yes, as long as we get attendance, I'll continue these. If not, I'll go back to recorded unboxings. Now that said, either way, unboxings will be Sunday at this time, moving forward. And short-term reviews or long-term reviews will be Saturday at this time. Now the caveat will be the device of the week live stream that's on Wednesdays will depend because my work schedule may change. So depending on what my work schedule does, will depend on if my schedule, when my live stream is for the device of the week live stream. But like say, that will be that case. Trying to think here. While I have you, I'm going to just talk for a couple minutes to let other people join. No offense, Ethan, because right now I think it's only you. So yeah, depending, the unboxings will be Sunday, depending on attendance of live streams, whether I go back to record it or not. Either way, I want you to always know, if you're new here, with my unboxings, even if they're recorded, I do it all in one take. Whereas a review, I might do in multiple takes. By what I mean by one take, I don't push, stop, come back later and finish it. So if I make a mistake, that's why I'm making a mistake, because I am not trying to go back and say, oh, never mind. Now, if I do make a mistake and I catch it while I'm editing, maybe I realize it when I'm listening to myself talk, I'll put a note on there. But I'm not going to go back and re-record any part of an unboxing. It is what it is. That's why I had a blurry unboxing, for that very reason. I can't remember if it was for this device or not, but it's a surprising device, and it's quite sturdy. I give them that. Now, during my Wednesday live stream, I wasn't able to finish this. I've shared with the Discord channel, or Discord server, the results. But in case you didn't see it on the Discord server, or you just aren't part of the Discord server yet, here's the updated look. So rather than black buttons, I now have white buttons. So yes, it did take a little bit. The reset button wasn't included. This patch wasn't there. And I'd have to pay extra for new TMR sticks. So those weren't included, but I think it looks pretty sharp with the white and even the contrast on the black thumbstick. I know you're here, Ethan. I don't know if anyone else is. Let me know what you think of how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty well overall. Like I say, I wish they'd included the home button, so it'd be all one color up here. Now, full transparency, while I was working on it, and it did take me another 3 or 4 hours to get there because the ribbon cables were very short, I initially had my function button working. However, old function button, when I had to readjust to reattach a ribbon cable, I accidentally broke it, so that doesn't work. I never really used it. I just like that the option is there. But sadly, it has gone to the function button great beyond and no longer works. It is what it is. So it's definitely not 100% idiot-proof because obviously I failed. So some level of idiot could do this better than me. It's definitely intimidating, but it's not as intimidating as like an update that you would need to solder on, because I have no idea how to solder. I'm not one of those guys. So, I mean, the only devices I've ever taken apart were the ROG Ally X that I did a video of, and this. I don't take apart my computer and change the RAM or anything like that. If I wanted to do that, I would take it to a computer shop and have them do it, because I'm not doing it. Now my PlayStation, I haven't changed or haven't upgraded the SSD, because you can add an external SSD, well, really internal, but without doing anything, you just plug it in and screw it in and then format it. I haven't done that, but I've thought about it. But yeah, so I'm not Mr. DIY take things apart all the time kind of guy. So hopefully I get better at it. Yeah, so looks like it's still just Ethan and I, and that's all right. Others will hopefully join. But yeah, so let me know what you think of that, Ethan. And anyone that's watching this later, let me know what you think of the contrasting buttons. But everything else looks and feels pretty factory, so that's good. And as always with any of my live streams, I always ask, what are you having to drink? Having to drink while we're doing our live stream. So during today's live stream, I am having a Lipton Zero Sugar iced tea. Figured it's a great after dinner drink, a nice iced tea. Pretty tasty. So, as I pointed out in the title and everything else, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes here, even though it's probably just Ethan, but somebody else might join. So, white box will be option A. Ethan went with a regular Coke. Good stuff. So option A was here last week. I know what that is 100% for certain, but I'm not going to say it. So option A and option B arrived this week. I don't know what it is. I was supposed to have received 2 devices. I have to tomorrow go to the federal Thailand post office that handles customs, because apparently they want to open up the device that they received in front of me and then tax me based on what they're opening up. I don't know what it is, because I have 2 that say that they were delivered, which obviously that other one wasn't delivered. So I'm not sure what this one is off the top of my head. So option 1, or option A, white bag. Option B, the cardboard box that I received this week. So Ethan's quick to the gun for the new one, I see. All right, I see somebody else joined. So it says 2 people are here now at least. So if you're here, let me know. Option A, device I know what it is, I've had for a while. And option B, I received in the last week. And once I get the second vote, we'll see if I need to go and wait for a third person to come on or not. Oh, looks like they left. Oh, that stinks, but that's all right. It is what it is. All right, so I guess option B is the selected option. So sorry, white bag. I will enjoy you when I get to you, but Ethan has spoken. So we'll go with Ethan's selection. And of course I have P. Joe's special box cutter. Sorry, it's not perfectly clean. You know, it's an everyday box cutter. It's not a retired box cutter. So as such, it gets used. All right, let's see. So remember, this week I will be doing a live stream of the RG477V and doing a short-term review of this. But we're kind of doing it where I'm working on devices over a 2-week period. So next week we'll get the live stream and the review for the following device. Let's see what it is. Oh, looks like it's an ANEO. All right, so got a pouch. I've got a case. I can tell you what it is now, but let's find out with the reveal, the Pocket Vert. And I got a screen cleaner, and I got a screen protector. Good one, Ethan. I didn't think of that. But, I have to paraphrase it for us and say, the fam has spoken. All right, so we got a... Again, I don't know why they call it this. It's so annoying to me. They call it HD tempered film. It's a tempered glass screen protector. Why don't they call it tempered glass? I don't know. But it is tempered glass. And a nice little cleaning cloth branded with ANEO. Okay. And I wanted a case. Oh, okay, it has a nice little kind of grippy texture here. Glad you can kind of see that diamond texture. I can feel it too. It's like a fine grit sandpaper almost. Not in a bad way, in a good way. And then this is kind of a not glossy, but still smooth feel to it. So I guess we'll go back-to-back weeks of vertical handhelds. And as ANEO likes to say here, real gamers know gaming. Or gamers. Yeah, real gamers know gamers. All right. And then this was only like $10, so I decided to, what the heck, get the pouch too. It feels like real leather. And you can get a really long strap if you want, or you can just have this here. Kind of a nice felty feel all the way through. Nice. And again, over here. All right, right there. Real gamers know gamers. And then as you can see, there's no metal sticking out here, so it's magnets. Nice, nice touch. Yeah, that's the other question. What makes it HD? Does it increase the resolution of my display? I don't know. But I mean, this already has a pretty high resolution screen. So let's take a look here. ANEO Pocket Vert. Nothing on this side other than ANEO, ANEO, ANEO. Okay, beautiful. So let's take a look here. We have the Pocket Vert with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Now, Ethan, do you remember, since you're the only one that's commented, I don't know if anyone else has joined us, do you remember what's the difference between the 8 Gen 1 and the 8 Plus Gen 1? I'll give you a second to think about that. Well, I look here. So we do have UPC code. So this does come from the factory, retail ready. So if I had a little store and I bought a bunch of these, I could already have that there. I'd probably want to peel off the serial number, but not necessary, not required, just probably would. And interesting, they've actually changed their name. You can, or at least adjusted their name. I don't know if it was always this, but their new sub-brand is Conquer, and this is an ANEO, it's not a Conquer. But it says their company name is Shenzhen Conquer Technology Company Limited. See if I can't get the camera to focus on that. Probably not. There we go, kind of, yeah. I can see on my big monitor what you can see, so. Do you remember, Ethan? What was the difference between the 8 Gen 1 and the 8 Plus Gen 1? Yes, exactly. Yeah, so Samsung made the original 8 Gen 1 and it had overheating issues, surprisingly, and other issues. So it was thermal throttling quite a bit. Then TSMC stepped in, started making it, and also increased the clock speed while reducing the temperatures. Amazing what a manufacturer can do, a difference in a manufacturer can do. But, all right, so we still got our box cutter here. And you can see here I've gone for the lava red, which is why I have a red sticker, I'm sure. And I went with the 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. Of course, it is running Android. Now, if I remember correctly, this device has like a high enough resolution that you can do like 10x integer scaling of Game Boy, if I remember correctly. Something ridiculous like that. All right. Now, if you're looking at this, you can see this big open space. If you're not familiar with this device, the reason there's a big open space here is you can disable this area, or it can be a touch area. One touch area or two touch areas. So with the touch areas, you can make it where it's like a mouse pointer, or you can make it like it's virtual analog sticks. So kind of interesting that they chose to go that route, to keep it all flush and keep it highly pocketable. And then I'm sure we have probably the home button and something else. Let's find out. It's a pretty big box though, because it only has a 3.5-inch screen if memory serves me correctly. It's pretty thick, pretty well sealed here. All right. Wow, look at that. We get another outline of the device. So let's take a look here. Okay, and that's actually the foam protector too. So nice. All right, so that's a big boy right there. Let's see what. It's awfully thin. What is this? Ah, okay. So different shoulder buttons. This looks like it's textured. See if I can't make that obvious. So if you want your shoulder buttons to be textured, you can have them be textured. Or if you want them to be perfectly smooth, well, with a little offset, but if you want them to be smooth, you can have them smooth. Nice. I didn't realize that was in the box. Again, a little bit of customizability. For the kind of money, you know, definitely should be. This was what, about $400 US, so not a cheap device. What do we have here? This is something I wish Aeneo would stop doing, but I understand most people don't look at the manual, but I like having a paper manual myself. So if you want a manual, you have to scan the QR code. And luckily, my QC was passed. Now, I would hope there's something below here. Let's find out. Okay, nothing below this, and this is probably just the charging cable. Come on out. It's a long cable. I give them that. It's a long cable. And it is USB-C to USB-C. So at least it's long. It's not a corded cable, which would have been nice, but it kind of has a soft touch rubber to it. It's not like a slick, cheap feeling plastic rubber. It's kind of a nice kind of matte texture. Not bad. Again, I would have liked to see a screen protector included in the box. You know, when you're spending $400 for a vertical handheld, you'd hope so. But all in all, I mean, not bad. It's a good presentation. It's a professional presentation. I like how they've given this as an option. Okay, so let's take a look. How does it look with the black on it? Okay, so this is black, so you get a little bit of red on the side. Does give it a more grippy texture. Okay, and it is a comfortable shoulder buttons, even though they are inline rather than stacked, obviously, because they have a nice curvature to them. They do feel pretty good in the hand. And again, I don't know why they went with such small buttons instead of making it big enough to have the ABXY on there. There we go. Not much of a peel, just popped off, but okay, very micro switchy. So it's not loud click, but it is click, 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 click. So it's not a membrane connection. And I guess these don't have any label on them either, so it's just completely flush. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Let me see here. Yeah, it is. So if you look at these buttons in the chassis versus this D-pad, the way that the light hits the D-pad usually, it doesn't look like it's the same color. You can tell when you get it off angle, it is the same color, but when you're looking at it head on, this looks like a different color than this. All right, so, and I like that this has a little bit of a lip to it too. So if you're using this, you can put it down and you're not going to hit your screen because all of this is glass. Again, I didn't want to watch a lot of videos other than Ayenio's videos about this because I didn't want to be impressioned by Retro Game Core's reviews or Tech Dweeb's reviews. I watch theirs if it's not a device I'm going to review, or if I've already reviewed it, then I'll watch their stuff. But until I've had a chance to review it, I don't like to watch their stuff because I don't want to be biased by it. Okay, I'm guessing that's the power button. Yep, got a little flashy flash there. So we get a status light here too. A solid volume rocker it looks like. I'm guessing that's the micro SD slot or the TF card slot. How does it work though? I don't know. There we are. All right, so there we go. It is the slot. The slot, S-L-O-T, not some other word. Okay. I can't remember what they said this was during their live streams. I think it might be a function button, but it's kind of weird since it's mirroring this. One thing I do love is that we do get a physical scrolly wheel. So you can see it scrolling there. For the volume, nice little retro touch there. Is it clickable? Oh, it is clickable too. Awesome. And then down here, we have our 3.5mm headphone jack in case you are still a fan of wired connections. We do have our USB-C port, nice and centrally located. Some Torx screws there, or star screws. And it looks like stereo speakers. And up top here, we just have exhaust because we do have active cooling with the intake here. Quite a big intake too, which is good because the 8 Plus Gen 1, even though they improved it from the 8 Gen, it was still, or the Gen 8, yeah, the 8 Gen 1, it still got quite warm. So nice. Has, like I say, a nice little texture there. Let's go ahead and remove this guy here. Oh, they didn't put their little logo here. But this is a, I believe this is metal. It kind of feels like it is, but it also kind of sounds plastic, so I'm not sure. Anyways, let's find out. I think this is a fingerprint reader too, but that's why I think that's why it's flat. Do we have juice? We do. Qualcomm, Snapdragon. Here we'll do a little Ayenio branding. Now, as I said, I paid 100% for this device myself and all of the accessories. Ayenio has not offered to sponsor me to this point. I've reached out to them, but never gotten any type of response. So, sure, US English is fine. At least it's in English. All right. Let's go with that one. Give me a moment to get my Wi-Fi on. All right, so that should be good. Let's find out. Connecting, obtaining, checking. We're not in Shanghai, no. Hey, Perth, Australia. No, we're not there either. Not in Adelaide either, or Brisbane. Or Sydney. Oh, going the wrong way, aren't I? All right, let's see here. Ah, Bangkok. I missed Bangkok the first time there. So it is definitely not December 9th. So today is February 15th. Happy belated Valentine's Day if you so chose to participate in that holiday. All right, and it is definitely not 410. It is 7. And it is 26. How far in? I think that's fine. Should be good. Okay, good. Next. Sure. Set a pin. No. Screen lock options. I like to do pattern. So we'll do P for Penic. P for Penic. So yes, if you come to my house and steal any of my handhelds, you will know how to unlock my device. I like how it shows it on the left side, but it's actually on the right side. All right. There we go. Should be good. Getting your device ready. All right, so it starts off in Aya space. So one of them is going to be the Aya button too. So they have their own dedicated launcher. To me. Interesting. All right, so you hold the power button, you get power off, restart, screenshot, and sleep. Let's go ahead and power you off. All right. I can't remember if it's still in here or if I've put it in another device. Let's see. Well, here's my old camera lens. I've been putting that on top of my Pocket DS. Let's take a look here. Nope, I've apparently moved it in another device, so I need to remember which one I put it in. All right. I have my trusty case that I keep it in. All right, and then, yes, I have a lot of devices next to me. So I need to think about that for a second. Which one would I have put that in? Yeah, it's kind of strange that they chose to not just set the time based on the Wi-Fi network and or the internet whenever you connect to it. I guess in case you choose not to use the internet, but it still seems kind of odd. Not in an Ambronic device. Where is my other Ayenio? Ayenio, where did you go? I always love my son Dominic whenever he comes in here because he's always like, other, being a little 2-year-old wanting to grab all of my handhelds. So let me see here. Okay. There's those. But Dominic, that cute little fella, and his mama are in her hometown for Chinese New Year. So it's just me winging it this week, and I think next week too. I think they're gone 2 weeks. So hey, Ethan, come on over. We can have a party. And if you're curious why there's a delay, it's because I'm having it do closed captioning. So if somebody does join and they prefer it in Thai or in some other language, they will have enough time to translate it into other languages. So many darn handhelds. Trying to remember where I put my other. I have Ethan's device here, not his physical device, but his Mongmi. And I do have the Mongmi Pocket Max on the way. I don't know if that's the one other one that was trying to be delivered or not. I can't remember. I just, like I say, I remembered there was 2, and I got 1. And tomorrow I have to go get the other one. Boom, 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 boom. Not there. Oh, Dominic, I used to have such an organized office before you came in. Started coming into my office and demanding to see others all the time. Where did that one go? Sorry, like I said, I didn't know what device I was unpacking or if it would have it, but if it wasn't, the other one is an Anbernic device, so I would have just used the memory card from one of the Anbernics I have, as they are definitely the #1 company that I reviewed over the last 9 months. Yeah, the price is definitely not cheap on that device. But again, they kind of tried listening to the fans and got more powerful internals, and as a consequence of getting more powerful internals, of course the price went up and the cost of RAM has gone up. So sadly, it's hard to make a good, really cheap device these days. Sorry, give me a second here. I can't remember where I put my Pocket Air Mini. I don't think it's in my bedroom. Ah, I think I see it. Yes, I do. All right. All right, and then I had it inside of its case. So here's another good-looking device. If you look at this, you can see that Ayeneo, their little SD card flap, is a different color. Huh, I've never tried NeoStation. So you're trying something I've never tried, buddy. But the thing I don't like about this, well, I'm not nitpicking here, but I do think it's funny that microSD is upside down. But that's not the thing I don't like. The thing I don't like is, see this flap comes up and then goes, and see they chose a flat. So you can't just rotate it out of the way. So it makes it a pain in the butt to try to get a micro SD card in and out of this device, because you can't push it off to the side because it's not, and you can't spin it out of the way because it's not a circular tab for it. Why they went that way, I have no idea. One of the more annoying design decisions of this device. There we go. Ah, there we go. And as you can see, this was one of the ones that, like many Chinese, come upside down. All right. And see, this one is also the same way. You get the flat. So, I mean, at least you can pull it out and it comes out of the way this way, but I would rather it slide, be circular so I could rotate it out of the way. All right, so let's try my card here. Did they put this graphic side down? It looks like they might have. Yep, graphic side down, as you can. Okay, there we go. But yeah, it kind of looks funny seeing that flat piece. All right, so let's take a look. Qualcomm Snapdragon. I wonder if that's part of their agreement with Qualcomm, maybe to get it cheaper, is to get them for a little bit cheaper, to agree to put the branding there. So yeah, it's a 3.5-inch screen, touch screen. All, there's no indent. Like there is a slight indent on the Mangmi Air X, but this one, all glass level. Okay, so there we go. Do get an app store too. All right, nice. All right, so are there any updates? No updates? Okay, darn. All right, so then let's come over here to Files. Allow. All right. $218 internal, 6.1 gigabyte free on micro SD. Whoa, don't rotate on me. All right, let's see here. Should be a download. ESDE. Settings. Yes, please. Yes, please. So by putting ESDE on here, it's quick and easy to be able to do the install. Okay, so then while we're doing that, let's go to Obtainium. And I haven't tried Gamma OS. Do you find, like before you had Gamma on your Mangmi, Ethan, did it actually improve? Let me know if you lose me. Okay, good. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions of me while we're waiting here. Okay, I'm going to go into the device settings to see if I can't add it that way. About device pocket vert. Did they update this at all? Looking to see if they say device or phone anywhere, or if they actually say handheld. System update, that's the same one. So it should be no update. But at least it's searching this time. Let's take a look. Let me see, does this help get rid of shadows? Yes. So would you rather get rid of the shadows but then have the ring light above me on, or would you rather a few more shadows but that? Yeah, on my Mangmi, I've only ever used the stock OS as well. So I was curious about Smithy. I don't know who Smithy is because I don't think he's part of the Discord server. So Smithy, you should subscribe and join the Discord server. Let's see here. Model vert, device details. So Android 14, beautiful. All right, sign into Google account. Will it let me do it from here? Let's find out. Yeah, it's still just weird how this D-pad looks like it's a different color from most lights. For most, it looks like it's a different color. Very strange. All right, give me a second here. And if you ever want to reach out to me and you're not part of the Discord server, which again, easier way is joining the Discord server. But if you're not on the Discord server and you want to reach me, will it focus? It doesn't look like it's focusing so well. Contact at penix-handhelds.com because my blog is penix-handhelds.com. Not a noticeable improvement? Aw, that stinks. I mean, it's still pretty performant for the price, if we're being honest, but too bad you can't notice the improvement. Did they add any additional functionality with the Gamma OS build of MongMe? Oh, if I can spell Phoenix. I know for some devices, like the Anbernic that I have in that white bag that was not voted for the review today, the Gamma has added quite a bit of functionality. But mainly that's because that device needed to ship with that functionality out of the box, and sadly it didn't reply to it. And I check it throughout the day. Now, of course, I'm in Thailand, so if you're in North America, obviously we're 12 or so hours apart. So I might be asleep if you do it during your day, your evening while I'm asleep. But that's okay. Okay, give me 1 second here. And I do on my Wednesday videos, whether it's a live stream or not, I am doing subscriber giveaways. Subscriber giveaways, you can choose from something on the Discord channel that I have on the server listed for giveaways, and I ship it out to you. And you don't have to, it's not a paid membership, it's not Patreon, even though I've been thinking about doing Patreon. If you want to support the channel, because again, I'm working on Thai wages. So I've toyed with that, where, like I say, maybe the Patreon again just gives you the invite to the server if you want to join the Patreon, and then have a paid memberships to do something else, whether have video access early or haven't decided that kind of stuff yet. All right. So if I remember correctly, that should be the password. Nope, that wasn't the password. Let me try that again. Might have misspelled it. Okay, that looks right, if I remember correctly. Am I adding? Yay, I am all right. So Smithy, I haven't seen your, or I haven't seen you on here before. Do you have any other handhelds, or are you like Ethan with the MongMe AirX being your first handheld? I can see why Arthur was always habitually cleaning this thing. Enio, if you're watching this, I doubt if you are, but if you are, maybe you should invest in an olefophobic coating on your devices so they're repellent to the oils. Shouldn't, especially if you buy it in quantities that you would be able to order in. I would imagine you'd be able to get it for fairly cheap and make it where the oils of the fingers are not sticking to everything on the device. All right, so anyways, let's go back here. Let me bring it down here for us. Okay, let me just check the screen for brightness. I think that's good enough for you, yeah? All right, so let's go Obtainium. All right, so Obtainium, if you're new, it's definitely worth getting Obtainium. Hey, Brainbeat. You know, you still haven't sent me the photo of your subscriber giveaway gift. Okay, you should do that on the Discord server. He chose a 128 gigabyte Phoenix branded flash drive. Do I still have my red one around here? Again, Dominic probably played with it, moved it around. Gotta love the 2-year-old. So the flash drive you can get is a double-sided USB-C, USB-A. My initial one, after doing some testing, I had thought this one was my initial one. It'd come in a wood box and have the logo, but it's only USB-A. I wanted it to be a bit more universal and a little bit less flashy, I guess, would be, because it looks like crystal. So I went with the colored branded version, and most people have chosen black. I like the red one that I have, if I know where it is, but almost everyone, including Brainbeat, has gone with black. It's all right, buddy. Oh, he's starting to throw temper tantrums. It was funny, last night he was actually throwing a temper tantrum because Joe wanted to clip my nails, and so he was with us, so I started to hold him, and he wanted to squirm free, and I wouldn't let him squirm free, so he started having a tantrum, and then I gave him a fake tantrum myself, and I started giving the and he looked at me and he stopped crying, and he wanted to stay by my side for like the next hour, thinking that something was wrong. Yeah, I'm glad that it's been working well for you. Like I said, I mean, I know it's not the fastest card, and the packaging makes it confusing about the size, but it seems like it's a pretty good device. All right, P for PNIC again. Oh wow, no retro games yet. Is that Aenio? Look, Aenio's giving me ESD. There they get Bodicera, RetroPie. Interesting. Retrobat. Import game package. Anyways, so let's go back here. Obtainium. So you just go to Obtainium and pick the Universal APK. Just keep it nice and simple. And I will add it to my micro SD card. That way in the future I can put it in my next Aenio device, which is going to be the Aenio the Conquer Pocket Fit. And I got that in the 8 Gen 3 BDuck version. I think it has 24 gigabytes of RAM that's purple with like yellow graffiti on it and everything. See, and you were giving me a hard time about the read-write speed. That's funny. I'm glad it's faster than the SD card you're using in your store. Did you check out the setup guide that I created on the Discord? Our newest member to the Discord, at least as of when we started this video, they asked for help on how to get GameHub easily on their device. So the first part was just what they asked for, and then I just went ahead and did all the rest, just to make a nice difference there. Give members a quick, easy setup guide if you're new to the game. I don't know that front end. You'll have to share that with me. How is it? All right, so we're downloading. Should be about done here. Really, you're being that slow. I don't know why this is getting such slow Wi-Fi. You see that? I pay for like 750 megabytes down and up. And I mean, I know my office isn't near the Wi-Fi router, but most devices read much quicker than this. So I hope this isn't a sign of things to be with this. So Cocoon front end, I've never even heard of that, let alone tried it. Okay, yeah, I've seen videos on Isu, I think is how you say it. But yeah, you and Smithy IM with your Neo Station, both of those front ends I've actually never even heard of. So quite interesting. But that's one of the things I do love about Android is we have great options available. So anyways, while this is downloading, let's go back and then import Obtainium import file. We'll also save this to the micro SD card, so in the future I have it quickly and easily. But you can see, yeah, the Wi-Fi is really slow. I'm going to have to try to maybe change to my one of my other Wi-Fis, because I have two 5G networks in the house. Import file, good. Install the latest release of Obtainium, which I should already have, so actually let's just go back, yeah. Okay, and then you can see you can have all of them individually if you want, which I do not want. So there should be emulation pack. All right. Oh, export JSON, that's what I want. Give me the JSON. I remember like 8 years ago, I applied for this software company and they're like, so how are you with JSON? So I was like, I know somebody named Jason. There we go, the latest release of the emulation pack. 7.5, 19 hours ago, all right. Oh, there's Cocoon front end, or Cocoon. All right, so if you're new, again, I wish it wasn't so blurry. Let me see if I can't get any closer or any further away to make it legible. But there is dual screen if you have a device like the Thor that Brainbeat is using, or if you have a single screen device, you go with the single screen pack. Of course, the JSONs are very quick, so you can see it's only 37.83 kilobytes. Broadband's pretty cheap over here, Ethan, mainly because, you know, a large part of the type population is not what you would call wealthy, so they want to attract those customers. So like I have 5G with cell phone, I have 5G with 400 minutes, but after the 200 gigabytes of 5G data, then it drops down to 4G speeds, and that's unlimited for like $18 Aussie. And I think for the 700 megabytes, if that's all we didn't do cable, because we do cable for when her mom visits, Pijo's mom visits. I think the 700 megabytes would be like $25 Aussie, maybe $30 Aussie. Aussie bucks. Yeah, yeah. I get not being perfect under beta situations. Keeps wanting to go to iHome. Let's see here. Still going slowly. I'd say slowly but surely, but I don't know about it being surely. Wow. Seriously, Arthur, if you ever watch this, bud, you need to investigate olophobic coatings. Because I washed my hands before this stream, soap and water twice, and you can still see I'm smudging it all up. Yeah, I'm going to put on this case. Why not? Yeah, Brainbeat, if you had joined on time, you would have had a chance to cast your vote on which device I'm going to be reviewing over the next 2 weeks. But Ethan was the only member of the fam that was on the island, so Ethan selected the box, and here we are. We chose the box instead of the white bag that was left over from last week. Like I say, normally this is very quick. I'm thinking about changing Wi-Fi because this is painful. Let me just change it up here. Give me a second. One thing that I liked about the, I think it was the Retroid Pocket 5, is it allowed you to connect to 2 Wi-Fi at the same time. So that was quite helpful. If one was weak, the other one would be picking up the slack. All right, there's my second Wi-Fi. Let's see here. Oh, no, it's not liking that one. Okay, let me try it again. All right, there we go. Now we're connected to the other one. Let's see. How are we doing? Are we doing the same? That's not looking so good. It's looking even slower. There we go. Now we're moving up at least a bit quicker. Looks like it by default saved it to, because I forgot to change its install location. That's all right, I'll drag and drop it off the device later. Come on, 15 seconds, 7 seconds. We're almost there, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, we're there. Yes, settings, yes, we want to give you the permission to install too, yes. Open it up, please, yes. All right, note. Beautiful, import. Obtainium import. Interesting. Okay, downloads. That's that one. Okay, Pocket Vert. Downloads. Where are you? Download. There we go. No? All right, there we go. I guess I did put it there. All right, there we go. Now we have everything we want. So I've had these types of questions before. So for N3DS, I usually use Azahar and Citra MMJ. Wii U, I use Simu. And then Eden also is great for that secret console. Melon DS, Nether SX. We'll go ahead and install that. It's going to probably ask me if I want to give them permission to install. No? All right, well, let's let that download. Well, if you have 2 routers, though, then you could have them combine. Since Thailand, they build houses out of concrete, and I'm on the 2nd floor. Makes it good. All right. Yes, install unknown apps. Yes, install it, please. You have my permission. All right, thank you. Definitely seems to be downloading faster now. All right, RetroArch. Yes, we need you on board too. So we have not a lot of people still here. Like I say, I'm thinking about transitioning from the live stream unboxings to the recorded type, because I feel like more people will pay attention to and watch if they know it's only 20 minutes unboxing or a 30-minute unboxing rather than this. But Yeah, so you understand how fun Wi-Fi can be with ours is solid concrete, reinforced with rebar and everything. So since you weren't here, brain beat. Got screen cleaning cloth. Aeneo is funny because they call their tempered glass tempered film, HD tempered film. So the first time I unboxed a Aeneo device, I thought it was just going to be a film, but it's actually tempered glass. And I did get this fancy leather carrying case that is felty on the inside, that includes their logo, Real Gamers, No Gamers. But it does feel like real leather, surprisingly. And it has a little place to store a card. So, you know, me, like I might start taking public transit, so we will see. But that's the accessories that I got with my device. And now RetroArch wants to go slow. Yeah, I've seen some of those, let's call them critters, you guys have down in Oz, and spiders as big as my hand and everything else. I don't know. Spiders give me the heebie-jeebies, so I don't know about that. No, it doesn't. Yeah, I've tried it. I've tried it on other devices. Doesn't remove the fingerprintiness. Sadly. And why did you go to iHome? You're not supposed to be loading iHome. Did it change itself? Let's take a look here. Apps. No, apps. Default. No, it's still quick step, but it's trying its best to get iHome in the picture. So RetroArch is free everywhere. So that's the thing about Obtainium 2 is they're not going to step on any creators' toes. They're not going to give us what should be paid software. You know, it would only include software that's supposed to be free, which is why ESD is not included in the Obtainium pack, because you have to at least make one payment for it. If you want PS3, I prefer RPCSX. I know they have another one, APS3E, I think it is. I've tried using it. I've never had any luck with it. I've always had more success with the RPCSX. So we'll get to that. And you'll notice that it says the most recent was back in April 25th of last year. The reason for that is after that they baked in updates from the software itself. You don't need to go back and update it. So there we go. So I've tried Retro Harai on that device. It's not too bad. And I've used a little bit of Daijijo and Pegasus. I guess I could try that one too. You know, why not? Okay, let that one go. All right. So we got ESDE. Where did you go? Downloading latest RPCSX. Obtainium, good. ESDE. Begin setup. Open permissions. Yes, I want you to be able to do that kind of stuff. Where is my ESDE folder? Let's see here. Do I have it on here? I think I do. Yes, I do. So yes, we'll use this folder. Where is my ROMs collection? Not on the device itself. ROMs. Use this folder. Yes, use it. Sure, you can create them. It won't cause any issues if they're already there. So there we go. Now creating system directories. It already has the system directories, but it's going to make sure that the text files are there, which is why on the setup guide I said set it up first. All right, so we have ESDE up. Let's see. Back. Okay, so nothing. If I click over on the left, we see that's close or home. Okay. Okay, and then that brings up the performance manager. Okay, good stuff. So let's see here, UI. All right, theme, proceed. So those of you that are on, that have used ESDE, do you download different themes or do you generally stick to the default theme? That's an interesting JSON, JSON, that you downloaded. But like say, I would just pay for the full ESDE. It's only like $6 US. So like what, $8, $9 Aussie, one-time purchase, and then you get all future updates and it's gonna run better. So I would just shell it out one time. Like I say, I'll be happy to check that one out later. I am just downloading here our latest theme selection to see what we have here. And then we'll give it a game test. So feel free to let me know what console you want to at least see something played on. And if I have it on here on my micro SD, I'll be happy to give that console a try. And again, this is a pixel dense screen, but it is still an IPS display. For $400 for this top end model, for $400, I would hope that it was OLED. You know, I imagine that gives them the chance to do a Pocket Vert 2, but because they've already made the pixel density pretty crazy. Okay, watching the Olympics, fair. Well, yeah. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I need to know the type of engagement I'm going to get, the amount of people I'll be watching. So I'll probably give it another week that I'll do a stream on Sunday at 7 Thai time. If I get people that are attending, then I will gladly do it. But if I continue to only get 5 or 6 people total attendance, then I have to think long and hard about that, because obviously I'd get more views if I just did a recording. So let's see here. Anything interesting besides my normal one? ESDE Boy, ESDE Mini, Escape, Game OS, Homage, Isu, if you want to. Isu interpreted. Let me see here. Mania, Mr. Menu, MenuI. PlayStation X. That's one I've tried before. I kind of like, so I'll do PlayStation X. Yeah, again, you have to remember, Canada is basically the same way because our wages are much higher than Thailand too, right? So, I mean, yes, if you could live in Thailand and make the same money, then that's different, right? But if you're like me and you're working Thai salaries, then, you know, I mean, that's what makes it hard for a foreigner like us to find a job too, Ethan, because Thailand has a minimum wage for most people that is like, I think 350 baht per day, mind you. So 350 baht it's like, I think 20 or 22 baht to the dollar. So minimum wage is like 15 Aussie dollars per day. Whereas for foreigners, the minimum monthly is 50,000 baht, or at least 2,000 Thai baht. So we have to make much more money than the Thais do. So even like a senior programmer or a senior person like me, you know, manager of customer service, they are hesitant to hire because that's like the pay of like of somebody that's like a director level or above usually. So it makes it hard if you're not able to work or keep your current salary. Makes it hard to do job hunting in Thailand as a foreigner. Come on, PlayStation X. Give me my PlayStation X. Still haven't seen any requests for again, with ESDE, it's all about the theme too, right? The theme changes things quite a bit. Yeah, right? And that's the minimum wage in Thailand for a Thai person. So, you know, so somebody graduating university would make like 1,000 Aussie dollars a month, versus minimum wage for me is like double. So they really make you think. MGS2 on PS2. All right, now we can give that a try. All right, let's go back here. I forgot. My bad. Let's UI settings, theme. There we go. PlayStation X. Let's do carousel immersive, and you can do theme, PS4, no system, custom, PS5, no system, custom. I'm used to the PS5 nowadays, so let's do PS5. Oh, let me get that down. Which one's the volume? Nope. I can't figure out how to. Oh, yeah, done, Nick. Turn down the volume with the scroll wheel. I was trying to do the big things on the side. I forgot the scroll wheel. All right, so there we go. Now it looks like a PlayStation 5. And then we scroll this way. In theory, it should be good to go, but I don't know. Since I didn't map out where the BIOS folder was, might not be. Did I not put MGS2 on here? Doesn't look like I put MGS2 on here. I was busy trying to put other ones that people might be interested in, like the Backyard Football and Bully and Burnout 3. Constantine. I could probably... let me see if I can't do that quickly. Let's see here. Oh, come on. All right, let's change it to file transfer. All right. Any other game requests you guys think of, or any console requests you have while I am going to try to put on MGS2 on real quick? Again, I make these videos for you, so I'm going to try my best to make it happen right now. Emulation ROMs, PS2, where are you? There we are, PS2. I know a lot of people say they make videos for people, but how many people are honestly willing to do this kind of thing while they're on a live stream? I would wager to say not many. All right, so then we want PS2 again. Okay, and then where is that one? So I don't run out of space. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I think that'll help. I don't need it. It wasn't that fun anyway. And then paste it in. Okay, transferring over Metal Gear Solid 2 as per Ethan's request. Some GBA, okay. You messed up your audio on Game Hub and Game Native. Maybe delete Game Hub and Game Native and try again. Hopefully that'll work. Well, let's take a look here. Okay. I don't think so, Ethan, because it just kind of plays the initial ad whenever the game was being listed on this one. So I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I don't know if I turn that off, do no video. Let's take a look. I'm going to do settings and we'll do immersive, PS5, no system videos. Let's try that. Turn up the audio. Let's see. Oh, it does. Can you hear that? It does sound like a PlayStation 5. Can you hear that? I don't know. My part where the microphone could be seen, where I could tell if it's picking up it or not, is currently covered with the ROM thing, and I'm holding onto it. So yeah, if you want PlayStation 5 sounds, it does make PlayStation 5 sounds. Awesome. So that answers Ethan's question. That's what I like to hear. I had never tried doing it without the videos, but now I know. Okay. Apologize for the quiet while I'm transferring PlayStation 2 game over. Again, feel free to ask a question or put in a game request, either way. All right, so let's see here, go back. One thing I wasn't sure if it would do it or not, but it is doing it where I had already had the setting set up where the bottom button, aka X on a PlayStation, or an A on the A on an Xbox controller, it is the enter button. So it carried over from SD card, so that's nice. Rescan directory now, please. Okay, so that's good. Let me go back over to RetroArch. Yes, allow. That might have been, it said I needed to grant access to it being able to read the external card. So, all right. While I'm here, let's go ahead and just push the menu button here, user interface. So you can do that. You can load your cores. Actually, there we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, see, I am screwing up because this didn't carry over. All right, appearance. See, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people don't know that RetroArch is a back end, but it is also a front end. You could legitimately use it as your front end if you want to. You just can't set it as a default front end kind of thing. Keep messing things up. I like, while I'm still here, I do like my cutie red color theme. All right. Change from G Louis. I prefer the PlayStation 3 look. So let's go back. Configuration file, save current configuration. And I think I screwed up. Let me back out. I think I pushed this by accident, so. No, that's right. Okay, back I say. And then let's quit. There we go. I know it's much smaller for you, and it's much smaller for me due to the high pixel density of the screen. All right, so there is that, and then I need my PS2 emulator that I downloaded since Ethan wanted PS2. Next. Let's do Vulkan. I can't remember what is the resolution of the screen. Could one of you two verify what is the resolution so I can choose what to upscale it to? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get the Aenio phone just because it's on par with the channel, and it looks like it could still be fun. So I'll be getting that. Depending on how my channel grows, will depend on if I get the X Fold 6. That would be the only other thing I'd be considering. I know it's gone way too small. But can one of you help me out with that resolution? I'd greatly appreciate it. Either Ethan or Brainbeat. Let me get a drink of my sugar-free iced tea while I hopefully get an answer. Nice. Sugar-free iced tea. Lemon iced tea. But yeah, it matches the resolution of the screen. So that text got really small on RetroArch. Or RetroArch. Depending on your tomato, potato, philosophical vent. I can't remember. I think it's something silly like Quad HD, but I can't remember. That's why I'm asking one of you fine fellas to help me out. 1440 it is. All right, well, let's go with that then. 1440. All right, let's try that. Import BIOS. I should have BIOS on my thing here. BIOS. There we go. And PS2 all BIOS. Okay, now if I'm trying to remember which one is US. Hey, I got the right one. All right, we'll go with that. All right. Game directories too, please. And then the method to the madness. Okay, PS2, where are you? Use this folder. Allow it. Actually, let me, yeah, we'll go with that for now. Okay, finish setup. Scanning, scanning. There we go. And if everything worked the way it's supposed to, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. Then we can come over to the side. Beautiful. And we can come over here to settings and controller, touchscreen, remove the buttons. It's kind of nice because this is kind of a mini tutorial at the same time. So we want controller 1, automatic mapping please. The ANEO controller please, thank you. Now I haven't set up the bottom touchpads, so I don't know how that's going to work. That's still there. Analog stick, I must have missed you. Let me come over here. Okay. Touch screen. Add remove, must have missed you. Yes, I did. Okay. And left axis. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Well, this load. Hey, all right, we're loading. Let's see how well the audio sounds. Am I going to get crackly sound or is it going to look good? Oh, yeah. Let's go with normal. I love the scroll wheel. The scroll wheel is awesome. Metal Gear Solid is a great game because Hideo Kojima is one of the best storytellers. So he and what is his name from Quantic Dream? They are the best storytellers. Their games are half movie, half game. They really are fantastic games. I'm afraid of any music that might be playing. So far, the picture quality is looking pretty darn good.
This is Snake. Do you read me, Otacon? Loud and clear, Snake. Kept you waiting, huh? I'm at the sneak point. Everything going okay?
Okay, I should be able to control both, so I'm not able to with him. Let's see here.
I must have overused it. Sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it. You're not in the military anymore. Right. I didn't plan on relying on this gadget anyway.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but let me see. I can't remember if I saw an analog stick option on here. No. So it might be in here though. Let's see here. Toggle, device, controller. There we are. Let's take a look here. D-pad, left analog stick. I'm glad that while it's in English, they have it set to both. Okay, we have L and R there. Be nice, ANEO, please get these translated into English. I mean, I can't imagine you don't have a large audience, so that speaks English. So please get that updated.
Not so bad, is it? Privacy
There we go.
guaranteed. I'm happy as long as no one gives me any more unwanted gifts. You mean that thing with Naomi? And I can't say I miss the chattering nanny. Mailing's not so bad. That reminds me, I have to get in touch with her again about that Natick flashware. Diverting toys from the SSCEN again.
As I mentioned, it started by default where this was all just the left touchpad. But you can set it up where it's not a touchpad or it's 2 virtual analog sticks.
Too true. Okay, Snake, let's get to work. You know how the technical...
Well, you don't have to play it stealth. You can do run and gun.
The mission objective is to make visual confirmation of the metal being transported by that tanker and bring back photographic...
Sorry that you have to see
I want you first to go up to the top level.
see the reflection. I have to put it in webcam mode for live streams, and because of that.
Your weapon is a tranquilizer gun.
Okay, so yeah, it is slowing down because of this resolution, which is fine. It's a pretty high resolution. That's going to be very demanding. To be perfectly honest, I was surprised that it was even doing halfway decent. So let's do 1080p. Half the resolution.
It's a little hard to work with.
That's better.
Load after each shot since the slide locks. Better than scavenging in the mission site. Good suppressor too. The chemical stun will take effect in
It's looking the way it is because it's torrential rain.
You could take down an elephant with that thing. Check out the laser sniping. The effects of the anesthetic round will vary depending on what part of the body is hit. We're talking about a difference of tens of seconds between hitting limbs, chest, or head. As for the equipment, hey, Snake, cigarettes? What's wrong with you? It's kind of a lucky charm. You haven't read the Surgeon General's warning yet.
Let's see. Still looks pretty good 1080p. But as I was saying though, unfortunately, unlike record mode that I would do on recordings, this doesn't give me the option to turn off the camera during webcam mode. Again, my assumption is that it's because, it's expecting this to be like a selfie camera that people would want to see the screen that's up there in the front. So, kind of the catch-22.
We need to get a fix on who they are.
Now, I've never played Metal Gear Solid 2 with virtual analog sticks, but luckily I can use the D-pad if I want to. It's still running a little slow. So, again, just tweak it, I mean, that's the thing, right? It's just find what works. Let's do 2x. I think 2x should still probably look pretty good. Yeah, that takes care of any slowness. Definitely strange to play with the virtual analog stick. I can get used to it, but... Whoa, whoa. Definitely not as good as having a regular analog stick. I'd say it looks really good, though. Again, also kind of different having these be the shoulder buttons. Black tape could be your friend. Yeah, I know. But gotta have a little fun while I'm streaming here. Get up, Snake. Getting shot. Get up. Get up. Ah! It's been so long since I played this game. Ah! Touchscreen a little sensitive since it's all level. My bad. Good thing I need that ration, huh? Ah! You're not supposed to see me again. So, some growing pains nonetheless.
Respond. Snake.
Well, you can see, definitely going to take a little bit of getting used to, and it's kind of frustrating that it keeps wanting to flip that way. Let me see. Do I have like an auto rotate disabled? Of course, auto rotate is disabled. Force landscape. All right, let's try it. There we go. Auto rotate. Turn that off. See if that works. That just looks better. Okay. See, but why does it keep... This tells me that they must have like rotated the screen. But who would have ordered a 3x5-inch screen with this high of a resolution to make it instead of a 3x4 screen? Who would have ordered that as a 4:3 screen instead of a 3:4 screen? Or yeah, who would have ordered it as a 3:4 screen instead of a 4x3? Because obviously this isn't an out-of-the-box screen, but quite strange. So there is PS2 running at 2x native resolution without any problems. 3, it could probably handle on lighter weight PS2 games. And Brainbeat, was it you that was having trouble with the Thor on PS2 games? All right, so let's just see what else we got over here. Yeah, I don't understand what's happening here. I don't understand. Yeah, so there's my PS2 collection. Quite a nice PS2 collection. I wonder, this is the Japanese version. I wonder if this will play with the North American BIOS. Or if it... Ooh, that text is another one that needs a magnifying glass. Oh, no, I got it. Okay. I love that the Japanese isn't all in Japanese, then yes or no. Yes. Yes. I mentioned this in a previous video. The North American version of Auto Modelista, if I can say that right, Auto Modelista, and the GameCube version are the same in that the cars are like they're hovering on ice. The Japanese version, still not Gran Turismo level, but it may not be Gran Turismo level, but it is that feel like they're more planted. So that's why I have the Japanese version. Yeah, I always loved playing everybody's golf and everybody's tennis. Those were always fun games. Whoop, let me turn that down. Arcade. Single race. Whew, of course it's in Japanese. Sure. Let's mute audio. All right, and then secret. The sub garage. Let's do Subaru WRX or Impreza? What do you think? I'll give you guys a second. Impreza or WRX? The choice is yours. WRX, as in on the screen right now, or the Impreza. You're so mean to poor Subaru. Can't you see they're a little different? 280, 280. Yeah, see, if you look at the where the power band is, the power band starts at 4,000 RPM, and this one, it starts at 3,200 RPM. So mean, brain beat. Watch, I'm going to get a Subaru person on here saying, you're crazy, they are not the same thing. Fine, I'll go with this one. Let's see what other options. Yeah, did you see they're coming out with a new Outback? And because the Outback is based on the car, and now for the first time ever, the Outback will not be based on a car. All right, let's do auto tuning. Boost, sure. Okay, yeah, looks good. Now loading. It wants to be like a PlayStation. Same art style as the American version, the North American version. This, which I think looks pretty good. Whoa, okay. I gotta be careful. Probably use D-pad better. Whoa! Don't hit the handbrake while you're turning. Lesson number 1 for the day. And don't hit, apparently, that brake either. Gotta be very, very careful. But you can tell it almost doesn't want to turn versus the ones from North America that I played in a previous video. Like they just slide crazy. Like they're on ice. Whoa. But apparently hitting the brake and trying to turn at the same time and getting some crackle too going on. Gotta be very careful with this. Still easier than the North American version. I was hoping I'd slow down quicker, but nope. Let's try this brake. Okay, let's see if I can't. Gotta relearn. It's been so long since I played this. Uh-oh. Thanks, commenter. Yeah, there we go. Want the triangle button. All right. Look, I am not going to win any competitions. I enjoy racing games, but I am not the pro at them. Yeah, see, there we go. Got it. Circle for gas and and triangle for the proper brake. I can race better. Look at that, I'm passing people. Oh my gosh. I'm in second place. Holy cow. Who would have thunk it? Not me, that's who. No, 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 don't turn around. Oh, man. Still got to get used to hitting the brakes sooner, but at least everybody's close enough that I can probably pass them again. No, 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 get out of the sand. Get out of the sand. I think the pops are hilarious, seeing the exhaust pop like that. I asked my wife this question the other day. I was like, so, if we're in a race and I'm in second place and you pass me, what position are you now in? It took her a minute to understand the answer, why the answer was the answer. Her answer kept being, well, I'd be in first place. I was like, I love you, dear, but no, you would not be in first place. She's like, yeah, I would. You're in second place. I'm like, exactly. Can I pass this guy before the end of the race? I did, but now can I keep ahead of him? Probably not. But let's see. Getting close. Hey, I won! Can you believe it? I can't believe it. So, Japanese game looks pretty good. I still think it's funny. This is a Japanese ROM, and I have the American BIOS in it, and it lets me play it. Obviously, if I had an American PS2, and North American for that matter, Canadian or American, tried putting in a Japanese disc, you're like, nope. But the American ROM, or the American BIOS works for emulation at least. So there you have it. I don't know what any of that means, so. Not the fastest time ever, according to them. But hey, if I had known how to drive from the beginning, known that the triangle button was the proper brake, I would have probably beaten that time. But yeah, so if you want to try Auto Modalista, make sure you're using your own, of course, Japanese ROM. And again, I can't tell you where to get ROMs if you don't have your own ROMs, but you know, there are archives on the internet that you can figure that kind of stuff out. And then whenever you're on an archive of the internet, you can search on their search engine games, and you can search Auto Modalista Japan and get it that way. If you happened to, of course, previously had the disc and lost it, you know, I completely understand. It was lost in a fire. Mine was lost in a fire too. Yeah, somebody had asked me to try this because the North American version and the GameCube version are almost unplayable, but this is much more playable. You just don't get as many cars, sadly. It's funny to watch my playback here. That's a great one. I love it. So, I mean, again, I wish the buttons were a little bit bigger, the face buttons. I wish there was some labeling, even if it was like under it, since these are crystal buttons. I would have loved to, even have a symbol underneath it. I know they were going for as clean of a look as possible, but I think that would have looked great. That said, I am a huge fan of the volume cogwheel. There we go, at 100%. Exactly. I kept them in Tech Dweeb's garden shed, and unfortunately, when his house went up, my house went up. Or the garden shed went up. So unfortunately, both of us lost our entire collection. I had an entire collection of PS2 games, all over 1,500 of them, and unfortunately, I had lent them to Tech Dweeb, and he had them in the garden shed, and poof, they went up. Yeah. So. Yeah, it is what it is. But I have reobtained them through archives on the internet. This is the primary place that I have reobtained games that I had previously owned. Yes. But as I've said before, I mean, for someone that's new to the hobby, if you're new to the hobby and you don't have one, or you're relatively new, something like this. This is like $30 or $40 from Powkitty. And then there's others that would, in that same ballpark range. I think Dominic took it upstairs. Here's one. Another one that's like $40-ish. This comes with thousands of games. Once you get the thousands of games, then you can take them off of the included micro SD card, and you've just established a ROM collection by putting them on your computer. I have a 14 terabyte drive that I have my games on, and I also saved the backups of my YouTube videos. So that's one way that I was able to prove to YouTube that I was the owner of my channel, is I could send them thumbnails, the exact thumbnail that was uploaded for videos. So again, it's definitely a different feeling device, but it feels nice having, the little angles to it actually do feel quite nice in the hand. Of course, the $1,000,000 question is, this costs more than this. This is definitely less powerful than this, but this has a lower resolution screen. So less powerful, lower resolution screen, but a better IPS screen itself. The panel itself, I can already tell you, is better on this, is bigger on this. You get proper analog sticks that are completely replaceable. So if you want higher profile sticks, you can. So this will be reviewed this week. This will be reviewed next week. So obviously for internals, this gets a better grade than this. For ease of use, they're about the same. Unboxing experience, I would say this probably has a better unboxing experience. Because you do get the alternate shoulder buttons if you want the alternate shoulder buttons. If you haven't watched that, like you, Brainbeat, check it out, the earlier part of this video. So ease of use, the same. Unboxing experience goes to this. Internals goes to this. I mean, ease of use is tied. And then Anbernic, I haven't checked yet, but Anbernic generally has some good options on Etsy, because Etsy usually supports them, so I'll have to check that out. But, I mean, this does feel like legit leather, and it has nice magnetic clasps on it, so that's nice if you want to use that. I mean, of course, you can take off the straps and all of that if you really want, and you just want it to be put in a handbag. Tempered glass screen protector. Of course, my pre-order came with a handy dandy ANEO branded screen cleaner, which is good since this needs it so much. So I'll have to see Etsy as far as what they're offering. And Anbernic does have a case for this. Where did I put my case for this? I think it's over there. Is this it? Let's see here. Yeah, this is it. So the Anbernic case is right here. So it's more of a traditional style place to put your cables. That one doesn't have a place for your cables. So functionality-wise, this is higher functionality. Classiness, quote-unquote classiness, would have to go to at least the faux leather of the ANEO. Of course, you have more room on with your hands on this. This isn't too cramped, not compared to other devices that I've used. So customization is going to be pretty close on them if we're thinking about it in 100% sincerity. Although the controls, you do get bigger buttons, and they are properly labeled. And I like how this has a matte finish. I wish these kind of had a matte finish to them too to match. But the D-pad's roughly the same size, but the fact that your face buttons are bigger, great. Obviously, these are much more reliable than the touchscreen area. Again, I understand why they went this way, but it's also more easily. You have Start Select, and you have your back home button here. These aren't labeled, so, but this does have a cool cogwheel. This doesn't. So, going controls. Probably go with this one, honestly, at least at the moment. But again, that's why I'm going to be using this for about 2 weeks. And value, obviously, this is almost half. Almost half. Not quite half, but almost half the price of this. So this is going to have to do some serious butt kicking. Like I'm going to have to test PS3 on it, see if I can do PS3 on the 8 Plus Gen 1. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. So obviously, but this is more powerful, more supported drivers too, because again, this has a Snapdragon versus this does not. This has the Dimensity. So this is going to be more potentially capable for PS3 and Secret Console. You know, the Secret Console that begins with an S. But they just released a Secret Console 2. Obviously, probably no Secret Console 2, but Secret Console Original might be possible on this as well. Might be possible on this too. I have to test. But this is definitely more powerful. So because of that, you might get better value because you have more game selection options. So these are all the things that just thinking out loud, these are the things that I think about whenever I'm coming up with the ratings for all of the scores. Because, yeah, I do a script for my short-term reviews. And so for each category, I talk it out loud like this to myself and go back and forth. Well, if this had this, then this, but what about this? You know, yes, this is the 6th gen SoC versus the 7th gen SoC, but, you know, stacked shoulder buttons do add value because that's what we're used to on a console. We're not used to inline shoulder buttons. We're used to stacked. So that adds value in my opinion. So again, that's thing I go back and forth in my head. You know, do you have sticks that you can replace like you do on these to make it where if you want a higher profile you can, to really make it your own? Because, you know, so whenever I'm talking value, I'm thinking of all of the different categories, the other 6 categories, and how they relate to it until I come to a number that I feel good with. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Like I say, I'm going to be going back and forth for the next few days, and then I'll probably do the recording on Thursday or Friday. But like I say, I'll still do the Wednesday live stream for the device of the week, i.e. this one. So again, come up with games you want to see played on this, whether you want to see Auto Modelista. So so you can have a comparison, Ethan and Brainbeat. That's up to you. Yeah, I mean, I get that. They didn't interest me to begin with either. I mean, this is a relatively nice one because they do at least feel a little bit, they feel kind of nice, even though they're really clicky. And the 4.7-inch screen is still a beauty to look at. This is still the best IPS panel I have used on any device. But I hope you'll still attend the live stream and request games. So I will probably post the thumbnail and the ability to say notify me of the live stream tomorrow before I start work. Since I would be starting work 5 minutes ago tomorrow. So sometime before this time tomorrow, I'll post the thumbnail and link so you can notify and you can click onto it and write comments on it and say, please play this game. Whether you also want to see this just for giggles, let me know. Because at the end of the day, that's what those live streams are there for, is to give you guys a feel. And obviously, the unboxings are the same thing. Give you the first impressions as I'm playing it as well. So you saw me install, well, you couldn't see me actually install the game, obviously, because you couldn't see my screen. But you saw I did not have Metal Gear Solid, and then I added Metal Gear Solid to Substance, as per Ethan's request. So if you're patient and you give me a list, even if it's live, you know, maybe I can talk to you for a moment like I am right now while I transfer those games over. So I can't think of anything else that I want to touch on tonight. Is there anything else you guys want me to touch on before we part for tonight? Because I know it's late for you guys and I appreciate both of you still being here. Hopefully more people will watch as well. But I believe you two are still here. So is there anything else that you guys want me to address or you want to see before we go? Let me get another drink while I'm waiting for you. Again, I understand that you might be dozing off there. It's awfully late for you guys. And let me know too, whether you're watching this live or another time. How does this device look to you? Like, what's your opinion of the device? Do you like that kind of fine grit sandpaper on the back like I do? I kind of like the grippiness there. Or they call it the diamond cut shoulder buttons. I imagine I can just pop them off, but I'll have to look through their virtual manual. Since it does come with the other buttons, I just want to try them to see how they would feel. Since you didn't see them, Brainbeat, check out the earlier part of the video. I also showed the updated Trim UI Smart Pro S. Yeah, so we'll do the live stream for the Anbernic this week, and then do the review for it. I might try to get back on schedule. By that I mean not do an unboxing this time next week. I might do my Battle Royale that I've been planning for next Sunday. But I have to think that through. So I might try to get back on schedule where I'm basically caught up. But I don't know. But as I mentioned, I love my cogwheel, my volume cogwheel. That even clicks. I think, does it mute? It does. It mutes. Awesome. Look at that. Nice. So I love the analog feel of the scroll wheel that even clicks for us. Gives that retro aesthetic of the Game Boy, if you ever held an original Game Boy and other devices of its ilk back in the day. I completely understand. Don't worry. But like I say, I make it for you as in all viewers, not just you, Brainbeat, but I know you know that. But yeah, I'm going to do that Battle Royale. And just trying to think, I think all of them were horizontal handhelds, including my recently upgraded via software and hardware TrimUI Smart Pro S. Even if the function button isn't working anymore. But that's on me. I should have paid more attention when I was raising up the motherboard for one last grab at the ribbon cable. So I see somebody just joined. Welcome. I appreciate you joining. We've been going for about 2 hours. Tried a couple games, did the setup. So I would recommend checking out the beginning of the video, so you can see what we've already done today. Like I say, I grabbed I showed how to do Obtainium. I showed downloading games from Obtainium, or not games, downloaded apps from Obtainium. And then we set up Nether SX2 on here, and like I say, transferred stuff over. I already had my ROMs on a micro SD that was inside of my other ANEO device. I'll be getting a new one of these with the Pocket Air S Mini, or whatever it's called. Their new one. That's going to be a lot more expensive. With the same screen, darn it. I was hoping they would have upgraded the screen. Not that it's bad, it's just, be nice to upgrade it. So it'll be interesting to do a comparison between the two, because obviously that one is going to have a metal mid-frame, going to be more metal or glass and stuff like that, and more powerful. But for under $100, this is an awesome device. So how are they going to do with that? I am not sure. You think the 135 will win? That's an interesting hypothesis. It is a good machine. I just did do the handy-dandy review of this guy. And I do like the contrasting buttons, the black to the blue, which I also, one of the reasons I wanted to upgrade my TrimUI Smart Pro. I like buttons that contrast a bit. So I like this guy too, contrasting buttons. So check out earlier in the video, the beginning, when I showed off the TrimUI Smart Pro S with its newly upgraded buttons. If you want to see it in a video, I know Brainbeat, you're on the Discord server, so you've probably seen the picture because I posted the picture. But either way, yeah, so that's taken care of. This is going to be a pain to try to do the tempered glass screen protector since it's all one level, but I'm going to try it, just not live on camera, so I can take my time, take a breath in, and have steady hands to put it on. Yeah, so what I'm going to do for the Battle Royale, though, is kind of like the Personas, but different. So it'll be kind of like a Persona battle. I'll go over what each one has and which one has the best of which. And then I'll say, you might want to consider the 135 and give the scenario for the 135. You might want to consider the Air Mini if. You might want to consider the Mangmi Air X if. And if I can figure out a Persona that would fit into here, because this guy will get into the mix too, the E1, I think it is called, by Absolute. If I can think of a Persona, you might want to consider the E1 if. But it's hard thinking of the Persona that would qualify for that, because it doesn't come with games. Even though it has Linux and Android built in, it doesn't come with games. And it was very temperamental. Can't replace the sticks. They might have come out with some accessories for it, but as of a little while ago, they had no accessories for it. So I'm going to do my best to try to come up with a a rationale reason of why you'd want to consider the E1. But I can assure you, in all honesty, I don't know who's going to win it yet right now. But sadly, I can say the Absolute device is not going to win it. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it has appeal. You know, I'm gonna put this guy off to the side here. It has appeal. You know, it has appeal. It has appeal. Absolutely. This one, it's hard to find its appeal. And the Trim UI has its appeal. I'm not going to show it because I want you to check out earlier in the video. So all 4 of these out of the 5 have appeal. This one could have appeal. They could have done more with it, but they didn't. I think they really hamstrung themselves by trying to put Android on top of it. It should have just been Linux only, not Linux and Android. And I'm sure the OEM said, hey, we can have a standard solid build of Android and a standard build, solid build of Linux. Absolute. And Absolute said, okay. Because, you know, there are companies, there's 2 types of companies. Companies that design their own hardware. Right? And then there are ODMs, original design manufacturers, that make the design and then they sell the design off to other people for white labels. All of these are, and Trim UI, for better or worse, are OEMs. You know, they're original equipment manufacturers. They are making their own devices. And I'm sure that Absolute, well, making as far as hiring out a company to make it for them. They don't have their own factory. But they're hiring them to make their own specifications, their own unique design. Whereas Absolute did not do any of that. The company went to them and said, hey, we have this spec. Would you like this spec device? This is what it is. It's a previously made device that's really cheap on AliExpress, but we're going to upgrade the internals for you. We're going to throw on Android and Linux, make you have a really cool dual booting device. Are you interested? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. So they put a white label on it. But they couldn't even put Absolute here. I mean, look, they just put handheld game console and a model number. So, yeah, that's going to be the hardest one, is coming up with personas for that. Yeah, like I say, I mean, this comes with a ton of arcade games that are suitable, are Tate style, and DS. I showed it in the video. I don't know if you pay attention to the actual video or you just listen to me, but during the gameplay sessions, one of the parts of the gameplay I played was DS with it rotated into Tate mode. So you have your shoulder buttons. You can see they kind of curve in to follow your finger for R1 and L1. But for DS, lift that up a bit. For DS, you know, this is your B button for DS. This would be your A button for DS, and you can see Start and Select is actually in the Tate orientation. So, yeah, so DS takes up, each one takes over half the screen. Looks pretty sharp. And the buttons are definitely unique. And the shoulder buttons are definitely unique. But it's a very pocketable device. But again, this single one can be taken out. And let's see if I can't put this higher profile stick in. With a stick cap on it too, nonetheless. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it looks kind of funny. Because the native one is level with the D-pad. Look at that. But I'd probably take off the stick cap because it's limiting the range of motion a bit with the stick cap on it. But this is, I believe, one of my Sakura sticks. Yeah, one of my Sakura higher quality sticks. Sakura. They did send them to me for free, but they are great. That's why I continue using them. They didn't ask for me to continue using them, just mention them if I like them. So there you are. I do like Sakura sticks. On the up and up, I enjoy them. And I have, like I say, a stick cap on top of their stick. But that's because this device has the bandwidth to handle that girth. But let me put that back. There we go. But heck, like I say, if I want a red one, I could put the red one on here too. Or the kind of cream color. Because remember, it came with the option. This one came with the option of cream or red stick caps. There we go. Yeah, see now? Nice and flush. Yeah. I mean, for low profile, it feels pretty good. And like I say, DS looks actually pretty good in Tate mode. And I believe you're a pretty big DS guy, Brainbeat, so that is a positive for this. And obviously, even though this is a 3.5-inch screen, being able to see both DS screens, this will have both screens bigger on average than this would, even though this is a 4.2-inch screen, because it's configured, you know, like that, for example. Now, of course, this would have bigger DS screens if you split it or even did it that mode. You'd probably end up with bigger than this, but you'd still be using it in a horizontal form factor versus in Tate. And like I say, play old school arcade games this way too. The nice thing is the thumbnails for this show you if it's a vertical or a horizontal arcade game. So you can go into the setting and quickly change it between horizontal and vertical on the fly before you ever start playing the game. And like I say, it's very pocketable, so for Brainbeat, that is a win too, having the pocketability. So I think that's a good unboxing and first impressions. I'm sure you guys are probably tired of hearing my voice, and like I say, this is going to be fun to play with for the next week and compare and contrast it with the device officially of this week, the RG or Retro Game 477V. Seeing which one I like better and which one's better for most people. Like I say, I may do a vertical handheld comparison video later this year too, or later too. But I haven't decided that. But I digress. I know this is getting long, and you guys are probably falling asleep. Hence, Brainbeat didn't even finish his sentence after end. So, Ethan and Brainbeat and anyone else that has attended live tonight, anyone that watches after this, I want you to know I sincerely appreciate you. This channel, everything I do is for you guys to make informed decisions. Whether it's maybe a device I wasn't sure what to think of at first, but I'm glad that I have this and been able to show it off to you guys with various, and that's one thing during my review, during my gameplay, I tried showing off as much as I could. So I showed you GameCube, I showed you PS2 on this, right? So it's capable of that. And I shared with you DS in Tate mode. I shared with you I shared with you a couple arcade games and a couple horizontal games. So you can see the different ways things look on it. So you can make an informed decision, not just about me talking, but watching me play and say, hey, that looks really cool to me. You know, do I think it would have been cool if they could have put the speaker here and here, so that way they would be top and bottom firing and then left and right firing? Yes. So Magic X, if you're watching, and I don't know if you are, but if you do watch this video for some reason to see how I go over other videos, maybe make a 135.2, put the speakers here and here. That way they're out of the way of everyone, and you're never touching them, whether you're in horizontal or vertical, because your finger would be like this in vertical, so you still are not touching it. And this 3:2 aspect ratio is pretty cool. But anyways, I'm jibber-jabbering and you guys are probably dozing off. So again, sincere appreciation sincere thank you, because I created this channel because I saw that the other guys were doing a great job, but I wanted to provide a variety in the segment. I didn't feel like the way I present is like anyone else. And I knew when I was creating my channel that I wanted to present in the way that I do to you guys. Like the way I do my reviews, I have not seen any other handheld reviewer that does handheld reviews like I do. And you know, so it's that kind of combination. I want to talk to you like I'm talking to family. So that's why I do say, you know, if something has like, this has the Helio G85 process, SoC. SoC means system on a chip. And yes, you'll hear me say that on all of my videos, because I don't know if the person watching this is the first time that they've ever heard of an SoC. They don't know what a system on a chip is. So I usually explain system on a chip means that you have your GPU and CPU all mixed together, because I don't want them to feel left out. Because I know I have some Luddite friends back in Canada that I just say this has the Helio G85 or the Helio G85 SoC and I move on, they would hear something like that, they would start to close off and turn away from the video because they don't know what that means. But if I say, you know, CPU and, sorry about that, CPU and GPU mixed together on one chip, on one thing, rather than having them in two parts, that makes sense to them. They'll know what that is, and they don't feel like they're being left out. So I want to talk to you all like your family, whether it's a live stream or not. That's why I tease Brainbeat and I tease Ethan, and I expect it back from them. And I also hope for your collaboration, like Ethan finding the resolution of this for me. I mean, seriously, on a 3.5-inch screen, having a resolution of this device is ridiculous. 1440p resolution? That is crazy. But again, for like Game Boy games, that's like a 10x resolution, or a integer scale. So Game Boy games should look fantastic on this. I will be trying them out, don't get me wrong, in Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. I'll be testing them out. But let me know when you see that video comment thing, or make a list of it and prepare it for the live stream. Same time, 7 p.m. Thai time. Let me know what games you want to see played, what console and or games you want to see played. But again, I've jibber-jabbered on even longer, so again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your likes. I hope that you've subscribed, and if you haven't joined the Discord server, we're not the most talkative yet. I hope we can get more conversation going. As always, that's my goal, my end game, is for us to have a vibrant Discord server where we're all helping each other, we're all asking all kinds of questions, whether it's a question of a day silly thing like how close are humans and bananas related to each other genetically speaking, or if it's actually about games. And like say, if you find a new version of a game, you know, a mod of a old school game, like a modded Super Mario, those are fair game to share because those aren't original works and they're giving those games away for free. If it is Super Mario, then I can't have you sharing that ROM because that's copyrighted to the Big N, the company that shall not be named that created the secret console. But if it's a modded game of the Super Plumber Boys, that's different because that's become an original work at that point because they modded it, and Big N no longer owns the rights to that game, and we can share that, like I did with Super Tecmo Bowl. But anyhow, I'm gonna go. Thank you for your time. Shoot me questions anytime on the Discord server. I'm always there for you. I'm gonna say it in Thai first. Swati tu kong krap, which, yes, that's how I begin my videos too, which is hello in Thai as well as goodbye. Thai, they say hello and goodbye with the same words. Swati tuk means hello everyone or goodbye everyone, and males end sentences in krap in Thai and girls end sentences in ka. So Swati tuk kon krap, or Swati tuk kon is hello everyone or goodbye everyone. So Swati tuk kon krap is how I end the sentence as well. So Swati tuk kon krap. Until next time, this has been P-Nick, and have a wonderful day.